Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I decided to do something a little bit different and actually talk to you all instead of just playing sometimes annoying music while I'm putting on my makeup and making you all sit through it and watch it. No, today I decided to do sort of like a mini tutorial on how to do a basic eye, including blending and placement of shadows. So I really hope that this helps you guys, especially help some of the girls with hooded eyes and where to place your shadows. Sorry, I can see my highlight. It's catching my eyes. It's a Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette, and I've got Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop sitting upon my pretty face. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoy the video. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to add, please add them down in the comments. Follow me on Instagram and let me know if there's anything you would all like to see in my next video. So first thing you're going to want to do is prime the eyes, so set down a base to build your eye work on. And what I am going to use is my favorite. For those of you who know me, my absolute favorite thing to use on my eyes are the MAC paint pots. This one is soft ochre, but depending on your skin tone or the look that you're going for, you may want to use laying low, groundwork or painterly. And for the purpose of this video, I have already done my eyebrows and my base because we're just going to be learning how to create a classic eye. So pretty much the foundation of any eye work you're going to want to be doing. So there's no real rules to makeup, it's more guidelines, but I like to think that what I'm about to show you is going to be your basis of all your future eye looks. So I am going to be using my fingers for a little part of this, just to lay my base down. Make sure you have clean washed hands before you start. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to grab a flat concealer brush. Any concealer brush or flat brush will do. What's my camera doing? Okay. So as you can see, I use this quite a lot. So you just want to go in with it and you're going to put it down on your eyes. Now I'm going to take my finger to blend it in. So this is going to create a nice flat base for your eyeshadows and eye work, and it's going to stop creasing. Another really good product to use is the Tarte Shape Tape. I really like that product as well, but for some reason I can't get away from my MAC paint pots. They never crease, and because my eyes are a little bit hooded, that is a big deal for me. Okay, so the paint pots are a cream eyeshadow and they do actually set on their own, but I'm just going to show you guys, no matter what you're using, you should always set your base. I always set my base with a white or cream colored eyeshadow. That's going to be your blending base. It's going to help you blend all of your shadows from now on. So I am going to be using my all-time favorite palette today, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. I think that's how you say it. I always get it wrong. Okay, so we're going to be laying down our cream or white colored shadow, and I'm going to be using Tempera from this palette. And what you're going to want to use is a fluffy blending brush. That's coming. focus, focus. A fluffy blending brush. This is pretty much the tool that will complete your whole eye look, and I am a huge believer in having good quality tools. My favorite blending brushes, I have two, which are my absolute favorite. So I've got the Inglot 6SS. It's my first blending brush, and my other favorite blending brush is the MAC 224. It's absolutely amazing. So they're both pretty much the same thing. They're quite large, and you're probably sitting there thinking, woo, how is that going to fit on my eye? But it does, trust me, it does. And the other brush that I'm going to be using is quite a smaller, more tapered precision brush, which is the Inglot 10S. It's actually my favorite precision brush. And the other brush you will need is just a flat brush, and I'm just using a Morphe one. It doesn't actually have a number on it, so I'm sorry, but any flat brush will do. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this white cream color, and you're just going to want to place it all over your eye, and this is setting your base, so setting your concealer or your eyeshadow base, and creating a base for you to do all your blending off. Now if you have hooded eyes, this is also going to be really good for you. Mine aren't super hooded, but they're hooded enough that it causes issues for me sometimes. I guess the most important part about doing your eyes is learning techniques or guidelines, sort of the fundamentals on how to build an eye look, and just practicing it and tailoring it for your particular eye shape or face shape, you know, and for the look that you're going to want to do. Okay, so now that we've got our white or cream eyeshadow down, that's going to be our base. The next thing you're going to want to do is create a crease with a transition color. So usually for a transition color, you pick something that is sort of a neutral tone, a nude tone, depending on the eye look you're doing. I mean, we're just doing a classic beginner sort of eye, so we're just going to go with the neutral nude colors. So usually it's like a brown, something that's quite close to your skin color but a little bit darker. So the one I'm going to pick is burnt orange, which is this one here, and that's going to go on our crease. So if you have hooded eyes like I do, you're going to want to put your transition color just above your real crease, so just about here. It's going to help create a bigger, wider sort of eye look, make it look like you have more room on your eyes. So I use two blending brushes because you know, that's just my preference. I like to have one clean blending brush, and I like to have one that I use for my colors. So I'm going to take, but if you only have one blending brush or one brush, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you either clean it on a clean cloth, or if you have a color switch or a tissue, and you can use the spot cleaning sterilizing brush cleaner to clean it as well, because it dries pretty much instantly. I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to pick up the color. Now if you don't want too intense look, you're going to want to just tap off the excess. Okay, and now we're going to start, so just above our normal crease, and you're going to start blending. Now when you first put the color on, you do not want to be pressing too hard. You don't want the color to go down uneven or be too harsh in one spot. So just really lightly, just start blending. And now with brush control, so the closer you hold the brush to the furrow, the more controlled it's going to be. And now when we're blending, we don't want control. We want the brush to be able to do pretty much whatever it wants, and it's going to help blend in all those edges so we have no harsh lines. Okay. Now you don't want to go too high. You want to leave a bit of space between your eyebrow and where your eyeshadow is going to finish. And you just want to stay in that new crease that you've made, which is just above your real crease. Okay. So you guys can see that. I'm not going too dark, just something really natural. So I'm going to go over to the other eye. Now, one of my eyes are a different shape to the other, which most people are like that. So that's something else you're going to have to kind of work out when you're doing your eyes, is the best placement for your shadows depending on your eye shape. So this eye's a little bit more maybe like down this way than this eye. So I actually place my shadow a little bit higher in this one to try and bring them up to the same level, but again just placing it just above your natural crease. So this is the transition color, and this is going to be what you blend the rest of your shadows into, and it is called transition color, and that's exactly what it's for, to help transition your other shadows so everything looks seamless. You don't want any harsh lines. Some people like the harsh lines look. That's not really my style. I prefer everything to be blended. Hold the brush about this point here and just let it do all the work. Just keep blending and blending until it all seems blended enough. You can never blend too much. That's what I think anyway. Okay. Okay. Be focused, be focused. Okay, so I have my transition color on. My camera's being weird. Okay, got a transition color on. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply a color in our outer corner, so V or C, depending what you want to call it. And I'm going to be using my little precision brush here. I'm going to be picking up a darker color this time, and I love warmer tones, so I'm going to place some warm tones down, but of course you can use whatever colors you like. This is just what I prefer to use for like a classic everyday sort of eye. So the next color I'm going to grab is quite warm, and it's called Real Gold. It's a kind of orangey color. I'm going to place that in the V's or the C's of my eyes. And so you're going to want to place it right in the V. Try not to go past the center of your eye. Like I said, depending on your eye shape, you're going to see that, but I would recommend not to go past the center of your eye, and I'll show you why when we get to it. Going to grab a clean blending brush and start blending it into the bottom of your transition color. And never go over the top of your transition color. So never bring this color here up here, because it's not going to look right. I mean, there's no rules to makeup, and you guys, you can do whatever it is that you feel comfortable doing. I'm just showing you some guidelines to help build your eyeshadow looks. So you just want to keep blending. Like I said, you can never blend enough. Just blend it in. I think the best way to explain it is blend this color into your real crease. And I'm blending it, and it's lost a lot of its pigment and a lot of its color. So we're going to go in and put some more on. And you can just keep adding until you're happy with how dark it is. been like pouring rain today. Absolutely pouring. It's freezing. But I love winter. I love it. Okay, and make sure you just blend out any harsh lines. It's really going to help your colours transition a lot better. Okay. So as you can see, we've got the in our outer corner. And now by adding colours that are darker and darker, we're going to start building dimensions and start building depth into our eye look. So I'll just go ahead and do the other side. I saw Anastasia's new palette on Instagram today, and I have to say I'm loving most of the colours. I don't think it'll ever beat this palette though. This is my favourite ever. Like my absolute favourite palette out of all of them. I think it's called Subculture, which is a cool name. But the colours are a little bit, like I'm not a very super colourful person. Personally, I stick to a lot of natural and nude tones. I like pink and I like glittered though. But yeah, I don't really do yellows or greens. Maybe I should test it out. Okay, so as you can see, I've added depth to my eyes now, just by adding that colour in the outer corner. Turn this way. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add another colour on top of that. This one's going to be the final colour I'm going to be putting on my outer corners, and it's going to be the darker colour. Now some people use black, or you can use dark brown. I'm using dark brown because I find that black's a bit too harsh for me. That's just my opinion. Like I said, use whatever colours you feel comfortable with. Once you feel comfortable with your blending and your placement, you can experiment with whatever you want. So I'm going to use this dark brown colour here, Cypress Umber, and I'm just going to go over exactly where we put the Real Girl orangey colour, just straight over there. And you're probably like, why would you put down the other colour first and then just go over it with a darker colour? And the reason is because by adding a warm undertone, you're creating dimension and depth to your eye, and it all blends in. Okay, like I said, just keep blending until there are no harsh corners or edges or lines. I'm going to add a little bit more because I want to be a little bit darker. And the amount of shadow that you put on is totally up to you, depending on how dramatic or how pigmented you want your look to be. Honestly, sometimes it blends so much that my skin starts to get sore. Okay, so it's all blended there. You see the depths now in my eyes? They look a bit bigger, they look a bit more, you know, sexy, a bit more shaped. I'll just go ahead and do the other eye now. And always go onto your face lightly at first, because you can always add more colour, but you can't really take it away without sort of stuffing up the whole look. So I always just go in lightly first. Okay, so this is going to be about it for the blending and building dimension. And like I said before, or maybe I didn't say it, this is just a beginner's sort of eye look, and the base of a lot of those crazy sort of Instagram looks or the basis of most eye looks really. And there's so many different techniques and different ways to do things. But I like to think that this is a pretty universally known technique. Okay. Can we see that? Oh, just to make our focus. Okay, so you can see that's all blended. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how it looks on my eyes. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, and this is going to help open your eyes and make them look a lot brighter, is we're going to put a shimmer color or a lighter color, if you don't like shimmers, just a lighter color, into the inner corners of your eyes. And you're going to put it right up to where you finished blending your darker shadows. So I'm going to use the Primavera from this palette. As you can tell, my palette is very well used. I use it every day. I love it. So we're going to take our flat brush and I'm going to pick up the colour on it. So coat the whole brush with the shimmer or the lighter colour that you're going to use. And what I like to do is I like to spray it with, so I use the MAC Prep and Prime spray. Or you could use like rose water or even setting spray. Just depends what you have. So I'm going to just lightly spray my brush. And I'm going to go in and you're going to press it on. So don't blend or rub like we were previously because it won't go on properly. And you're just going to press it onto the whole mobile lid. And by mobile lid, I mean the bit that sits over your eyeball. Mobile, it moves. And you're going to press it on until you meet that darker colour that you put on your outer corners. Okay. Okay, so I put that on. You don't need to drench your brush in the sprays, by the way. And if you don't want it to be this intense, you can just put it straight on from the palette. I just like it a bit shiny and intense. Okay. Alright, so we've got that on now. And as you can see, the edges here where you've put your shimmer or lighter colour and it's met the darker colour are a bit harsh. So I'm going to take my small precision brush again, and this one here still has a bit of colour on it, which is fine. And I'm going to lightly just blend the edges of that shimmer colour into the darker colour. Okay. And seriously, there you have it. That is the basic foundation of building an eye look. So from here, you know, you can go and add some eyelashes, you can put some colour underneath your eyes and some eyeliner, some wing liner, whatever you feel like. If you're not confident in doing that, that's absolutely fine, because I'm not even confident in doing wing liner. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. It is one of those things that you just got to keep at and keep practicing, and you know, watching other artists or watching YouTube, or just keep going. I find that tape helps when doing winged eyeliner. It does help. Just be careful. Make sure it's not too sticky and you rip your skin off. A lot of people ask me if I do my eyes or my face first, and my answer is I usually do my eyes first, because when I'm using shadows, I'm really quite worried about the fallout, and I don't want to have to cleaning it off my already done face and wrecking my base. So I usually always do my eyes first, especially if I'm using pigments or glitters and doing winged eyeliner, because it's so much easier to clean up any fallout or messes once you have, when you don't have your base on. So I always do my eyes first, but it's personal preference, whatever suits you. And I usually always do my eyebrows last as well. That's just a personal preference. There's no rules. You know, if you want to do your eyebrows first, then go ahead. If you want to do your eyebrows last, then go ahead. And I always do my eyelashes last, and like I said, that's personal preference as well. So I'm going to go and put on some lashes now, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so I put my eyelashes on. They're just a set of Model Rock Style 3 Pick and Mix lashes. So pretty natural, nothing too fancy for a natural look. And the reason I didn't show you guys how to put eyelashes on is because I actually can't speak when I'm putting my eyelashes on, and when I figure out a way to talk to you guys and put them on at the same time, I will definitely show you how I do it. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching my quick video on how to create a natural eye look. If you have any sort of questions or anything, please feel free to leave them down in the comments, or you can send them to me via Instagram at Jessica Lee HMUA. I'm always happy to answer questions or help out when I can. Is that weird? Is that creepy? Look at my highlight though. Ooh. That's like the Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette. Champagne Pop. It's Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop mixed together to create one magical highlightiness on my face.